So, when you ask pro-Ukraine, or NAFO for a better word, for a video of Russians shooting at a civilian, killing a civilian, this is the video they send, or they recommend. It shows Russians pointing guns, and then it shows a guy not walking anymore. It's a civilian, they say. It's a pretty secured civilian facility. I don't know, maybe libraries are just built like this in Ukraine. I highly doubt that, but I'm gonna go ahead and play the video a little bit.
These are Russian soldiers on their way to loot and to kill. But their every move is caught on multiple cameras.
And to loot and to kill. Okay. They're looting this secured facility. This is at the beginning of the war, by the way, because when you try to research Russia harming civilians, you get this video from 2 years ago. This is the top result of Russians harming civilians in the Ukraine conflict.
And so is Leonid, the security guard, as he approaches them. The men talk, even smoke, and then the soldiers leave.
Okay. Alright, we're off to a good start, but we all know that it's going to end up as a massacre, because that's what we're told Russia does.
But suddenly two turn back. They shoot Leonid and a second man multiple times in their backs.
Oh. Interesting. All we saw was what we saw. We didn't see much. No. Okay.
Leonid somehow survives. His boss dead, the guard staggers back to his hut and starts phoning for help. I met one of the friends Leonid called that day.
Mind you, this is top result of Russia harming civilians. The best example. I shouldn't say best. It's the most damning example of Russia harming civilians.
Told Vasya the soldiers claimed they don't kill civilians. Then they shot him.
Okay. Real brave man going out and talk about this. I've heard Russia goes out and finds people that open their mouths, right?
I asked how he was. I said, can you at least bandage yourself up? And he said, Vasya, I barely crawled here. Everything hurt so much. I feel really bad. So I told him to hang in there and started calling the territorial.
Oh, that's right. Russia's incompetent. Or maybe they just tried to maim him.
Defense.
The Russians drove a stolen van, daubed with their V symbol and the words Russian Tank Special Forces.
That's just fucking hilarious.
And this is the man we saw shooting, now helping himself to a drink.
This could be in a completely different place, completely different time. There's no way to make... Anyway, let's continue.
No idea he's being filmed. No one does. Until it's too late. And all this time, Leonid is hiding in...
Even if Russians were that incompetent, they could still go and find the footage. They probably broke the camera in case it was live streamed. But let's carry on.
In here, bleeding heavily.
All the blood that doesn't seem to be in the footage.
Later, we found his clothes and mattress bundled up outside. He died.
Oh, there's a red
before
spot.
help could reach.
That's some very bright red. They should do a little more research, because even I know when I've bled on my own sheets after a couple of days, it ain't that color red. It's got a weird edge to it. The edge, there's a defined edge. It's a different color than everything else.
Him. I met
Seriously, wow. They really wanted you to think that was blood. Go bleed on your sheets. Go cut yourself, and it doesn't look like that even when it's fresh.
the men who tried to save Leonid, Sasha and Kostya, who sold
That is just like comically bad.
air conditioning before the war. As they rushed to the scene that day, they tried to reassure Leonid that he'd make it, but they were scared themselves.
We went there knowing the risk and the fire. We knew the Russians would come back and they had tanks, and we only had our guns. So our chances were not equal, but we had to go and get him.
They show me how the nearby road looked in those days.
I'm going to say it again. Mind you, this is the top result of Russians killing civilians.
With Russian tanks rolling past their positions.
Танчик перший, потім тентована.
The Russian soldiers caught on camera
Police have
killing
told us the
Ukrainian
Russians
civilians.
shot at anything that moved here.
It's a whole lot of talking, not a lot of killing. Just saying.
They found the bodies of 37 civilians on just this stretch of road.
Oh. Oh, wow.
It's
not just
Okay.
the burnt out buildings and
We'll
businesses
just
along
take
this
their word
road
for it.
that you see, but things like this. 2 Russian tanks just lodged in the forest, and you can see the V's painted on the front. And it's a really stark reminder of just how fierce the fighting was all along these roads into Kiev. And
First of all, I highly doubt these 2 tanks were next to each other when they were ruined. They were pulled aside here. And this has nothing to do with civilians being killed. This is the opposite of what you should be showing in a video talking about civilians being killed. You should be showing, like, the underwear drawer of grandma's bedroom being tossed on the floor. Like, that's the kind of stuff you guys usually do.
how terrified Leonid must have been as he was lying there bleeding and calling for help.
My fucking god, how fucking fake. This is so fake. She even knows it's fake. Look at her face like, yeah, I'm doing this crap again.
Leonid's daughter shared this image of
Oh, he's out. Look at him. He's relatable. He's got a cat.
her dad as she'd like him remembered.
А он тогда, вот как вы с ним разговаривали, он...
Yulia is abroad now. She tells me she wants her father's killers to face justice.
My dad was not a military man.
Did I miss that? Like, where was the part where he got killed? I'm starting from the beginning.
These are Russian soldiers on their way to loot and to kill. But their every
Not
move
rape
is
and
caught
plunder?
on multiple cameras. And so is Leonid, the security guard, as he approaches them. The men talk, even smoke, and then the soldiers leave. But suddenly 2 turn back. They shoot Leonid and a second man multiple times in their
Okay.
backs.
They're pointing a rifle.
Leonid
Hold on a second. I've only seen one guy this whole thing.
These are Russian soldiers on their way to loot and to kill. But their every move is caught on multiple cameras. Talk is Leonid, the security guard, as he
Is he holding his fucking hat?
approaches them. The men talk, even smoke, and then the soldiers leave. And a second, Leonid
And is this him wearing his hat and limping?
somehow survives. His boss dead, the guard staggers back to his hut
Where's the other
and
guy?
starts phoning for
His
help.
boss is dead. There's no... This
I met
is
one of
so...
the friends Leonid called that day.
Don't forget,
Они нам
this
сказали,
is the
что
top
мы
result
гражданских
of
не
Russia
убиваем.
harming
He told
civilians.
Vasya the soldiers
search in
claimed they
Google.
don't kill